Hello, adventuring friends. Welcome to day 2 of your coping skills adventure. As a reminder of what we are doing, this week is my nerd takeover at Lilybrook. I'm Linnea C. I'm the Director of Children's Services here, and I also run our therapeutic tabletop game groups. What those are, there's a longer explanation video a few days ago, but basically I take tabletop roleplay games like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Warhammer, and I turn them into therapy by teaching coping skills in kind of a fun, playful way, or helping people understand um, things about themselves that they might not have thought of otherwise. So, in your last video, you had opened a door um, from a pretty empty stone room, and you had used box breathing, which is breathing in the shape of a box, to open that door. Today's coping skill is going to be rainbow grounding, and so it's going to be finding all the colors of the rainbow when you do this as a grounding skill to give your brain a chance to engage with something different other than your anxiety or your sadness or fear. It kind of can help bring you out of that into like a more present state of being. So today, keep that in mind, and we will continue on with our adventure. For this, after you've opened the door, you step through into a little white box area, and you notice that all around you, the room is filled with different colors. There's different colored things hanging from the ceiling. There's different colored stripes on the floor, and as you look around, a sign pops up out of the air with little showers of glitter, and it says, if it's treasure you seek, know this. If it's not red, you might be dead. And then with that, the sign flutters away again. Looking around the room, you notice that even the floor is painted different colors. You see red, blue, green, purple, orange, and yellow stripes on the floor, interspersed with they just are all mixed up. And you may wonder, what do you want to do? So at this point, you could ask for help. You could ask your teammates if you were traveling with a team what you should do or what everyone should do. You could ask if you had a non-player character that was helping you. You could ask them if they know anything about this room. You could also just roll a dice and take a chance and go wherever you wanted to in the room. So we'll say that you do that. You decide that you're just gonna try something, and you step on to the blue line that is on the floor. And as you step on it, you don't notice anything at first, and then you realize there's some tingling happening. And as you get further onto the blue line and blue shapes start coming towards you, you notice that they're sparking a little, and the tingling in your body gets a little bit more higher. And so you, realizing what's happening, move back to the white square, and instantly all the tingles stop. You do the same thing with the green stripe, and a gaseous cloud starts drifting up from the floor and swirling around you, and you start to feel kind of gross, not real sure that you want to be in that, so you step back to the white again. When you step onto the purple, you experience this sense of weird confusion. Like all of a sudden you're not entirely sure why you're in this room in the first place. It's not a lot. It's not like super scary. It's just like, what was I doing again? And your teammates have to kind of remind you gently to come back to the white space. Eventually, you go through orange, and fire shoots from the ground in intermittent bursts, so you can't ever predict where it's going to happen. You might get a little burn on your elbow, or you might, the ends of your hair might get singed a little bit. Doesn't really injure you too much. It's just a reminder that maybe you're not looking in the right place. And then the same thing happens when you step into the yellow square. Bolts of lightning come from the ceiling and hit very close to your toes, kind of making you do a little dance. And then finally, when you step onto the red, it is blissfully silent. You see that red shape swirl around you and form a shield that guides you safely across to the other side of the room. And in this one, there are 3 doors that you can choose from. So that is your next choice for this. The doors in front of you have different shapes on them. Um, you notice that some of them have more colors than others. They all have all of the colors that you've seen on the floor, all the colors of the rainbow. But in the right side door, you notice that um, the red squares um, form a rainbow pattern. And so you are able to realize that you might want to take that door instead. You could, of course, choose the other doors. That is the fun of the game, is that you can always choose something different, but you might not always get what you want. So in this case, you choose the right-hand door, the one with the rainbow on it, and it opens into something else, which you will find out in our next video. Sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger. And again, my name is Linnea. I'm from Lilybrook. If you'd like any more information on our groups or anything like that, you can feel free to contact us by phone at 248-250-6620 or by email at contact@lilybrookcs.com. Thanks for adventuring with me.